Well, we're back on the hotline here at 17 minutes past 12 noon, and guess who stopped in? You always hear his voice on the commercials. He's a guy Johnny's always saying, can you service my Explorer? And what's the answer, Billy?
Yes, we can. We service everything.
I got an old Studebaker. Can you do that?
We can service it.
Okay, good. Billy Caprara from FX Caprara Auto Sales, of course, famous automotive family here in Watertown. Been in business how many years now?
We've been over 30 years, Jeff.
Okay, and how's Frank doing?
Good. You kidding me? He's the roots of our whole business.
Okay, great. Now, obviously people are following the car business these days. I mean, there's been a lot of publicity in recent months, not all of it great, with all the bailouts and bankruptcies and all of that. And is it as bad as it sometimes seems on TV?
No, I think, up here, especially where we live in the North Country, I mean, you got to go anywhere. You got to get an automobile to go there. We've had a great season, great year so far. Everything's going good. We talked about this Cash for Clunker program coming on, which I think is going to be phenomenal. Definitely will upstart auto industry even more. The program's supposed to last sometime in November. I don't think it goes that long. I think we'll run out of money before they do that.
Okay, now, it's called Cash for Clunkers. It's got an official government name, too. I forget what the acronym stands for. But basically, it's meant to give you money to use towards purchasing a new car if you have an older car that has crummy gas mileage.
Right. The way it sets out is your car has to be newer than a 1984. It has to receive less than 18 miles a gallon driving down the road, and it'll qualify for $4,500 if you purchase a car within certain miles after that. Or if you buy a car that doesn't get as good as miles, you get $3,500.
Now, it's not... I don't want to say it's difficult, but it isn't something that you can just do off the top of your head always, because not all cars fit into the equation.
No, there's actually a federal government website you can get on to see if your car qualifies. And if you don't, we set up a special cell number up at work. It's 783-7615, just to see if your car does qualify. We can give you more of an answer at that point.
What about the manufacturer websites, Kia being one of them that you sell, that they have a little thing on there where you can enter the information? Is that all accurate? Very
accurate. As a matter of fact, all the manufacturers, we happen to have a few franchises, and all the manufacturers are right on top of this whole game. They're giving us every day, sending us emails and telling us how to stay on top of it, only because how I believe this thing's really going to overwhelm the economy here real quick.
Okay, now you've got... Well, let's take an easy one. Let's say you got a 95 Chevy Blazer with 150,000 miles on it.
Give you a prime example. Say you're going to buy a Kia Rio, a car that starts out at like $12,200. You're going to take the Kia Rio warranty of maybe $500, the military discount, not warranty, rebate of $500, the military rebate of $500, plus the government's money. You can buy that car less than half price of new.
Okay.
You're $6,000 and change.
But one's like, here's a Rio is one of the smaller ones. So let's go through this here. We'll just try to do it. Let's say they got this, we'll take the easy one because I know the Chevy Blazer works because I did it the other day. So you go down to S10 Blazers. Oops. I'm not good on websites, Billy.
That's okay.
It's, we'll take the four-wheel drive version, 6-cylinder automatic transmission, and you hit go. And this is how Kia works. If you're going to buy, let's say you want another SUV, you can buy any of the Sportage models and you get $3,500.
Get $3,500, exactly. Only because of the variance in the fuel economy. As far as the Blazer goes, a lot of these older SUVs are out on the road. Right. The older Cadillacs, the older Oldsmobiles, they'll all qualify. You get into the littler cars on the older ones, they may not qualify. So the best thing to do is get on one of these cars' websites or give us a call and we'll do our best to let you know what it is.
Now, you're not really trading in the car because it doesn't get resold again, does it?
No, actually, these cars are in a form of rebate from the government. The line on the bill of sale goes to a form of a rebate. And at that point, the car actually goes, there's a few salvage yards in the area that are actually accepting these that are approved by the government. And they will take these cars, and obviously, they'll dismantle them. And we also have to make sure the motors are dry and no longer running.
So the government takes them and they go somewhere.
These cars are off the road forever.
Okay. So when people think that maybe they get the government rebate plus some additional trade-in, there isn't any.
No, not at all. The trade-in that most of the time, well, in this case, it's going to be 100% of the time, this vehicle will definitely be worth less than $4,500 as far as the trade-in, so they'll take the government cash for clunkers.
And there's a handful of cars, maybe before 2002 or something, that might be worth more than $40,000.
Absolutely. Then you're going to take it on the normal trade line and get your best deal.
Okay. So this Clunker thing plus all the rebates, when you add it together, it's substantial.
It's very substantial. I think, this program, when it first came out, we really weren't sure, the guidelines and the rules. And I know it took a little extra time. They're supposed to have this thing rolling originally on the 23rd of July.
Right.
But there was a lot of situations where they're trying to work out things and this and that. And here we are on the 27th, and it's pretty much with this first day that we're really going to start delivering cars out of it today.
Now, there are some other rules. You have to own the car for a year.
You have to be owner of that vehicle for at least a year.
And you have to be the one trading it in.
And you have to be the one trading in it.
And there can't be any liens against it.
No, there's no liens. And 99% of the time you have a vehicle that age, there won't be, so we should be safe there, too.
Okay, so for those who don't want to go onto the lot or something because they're a little, skittish, they can check online. And I just happened to mention Kia because it's one of the more easily understood.
Absolutely. You know why? Because it's also a good car with fuel economy.
Right. So there's a lot of options in that type of thing. But actually, there are even some trucks that qualify.
A lot of trucks. A lot of the
smaller ones.
The smaller trucks, your Sonomas, your GMCs, your Canyons, your Dakota trucks, some of them will qualify for it.
Yeah, so this is huge. Oh, no, that's the other guy.
You can't use that word around me.
All right, but it is a big deal. We'll put it that way.
Absolutely. You know what? I got to tell you, I think this program's going to act pretty quick. I think I don't really understand how much they put into it. My belief was there's over $1 billion put into this program to help stimulate this car industry with the old cars, get those cars off the road. It's supposed to last till November. I don't believe it'll go that far.
No, there's some estimates it would be used up quickly, but
I would believe we have. Well, since in the last week or so, we've probably taken 10 to 15 deposits on vehicles out there, and we're going to start delivering them off today. We finally got all the program rules. We finally know what we're doing with it, and now it's quite clear how to handle it.
So the public doesn't have to do much of anything.
No, they just give us a call or stop in, or we'll take good care of them.
All right. Well, Billy, thank you.
You're more than welcome, Jeff. Thanks for coming.
Well, I didn't come. You
Thanks for having me here.
Okay. All right, thanks. Billy Caprara from FX Caprara Auto Sales, located on Outer Washington Street. And, of course, the Kia Volkswagen store, the easiest one to find, and they're good enough to advertise on our show here. And it was nice of Billy to come in and explain this Cash for Clunkers thing. It's not, at first blush you might say, oh, my God, a government program. But it is kind of an interesting thing. I got a text message that some people are saying this money could be exhausted within a couple of weeks. So... And then the other issue is availability of vehicles and so on. So, it's not something where you say, well, I'll wait. It doesn't do you any good. If you were thinking of a new car this year, and if the vehicle you have fits these parameters, it's pretty easy to do. So, and if you have a vehicle that you were thinking of and you want to call in, I've got this website up, and I can... just run a couple hypotheticals for you because I think it's worthwhile. And all the dealers obviously are doing it. All the manufacturers have some kind of program. And, just pick what you want to do. But obviously the program works best with those vehicles that are high mileage vehicles. So the manufacturers that produce a lot of high mileage vehicles, and, you know who they are obviously going to present you with more options for trading into things. But especially if you've got big old Caddies or Oldsmobiles or Crown Vics or old SUVs from the 90s and before, and those type of vehicles that had mileage below 18 miles a gallon, you trade up into something newer. Not only will you get better mileage, but you'll get all this money back, too. So there you go. We got some calls. Good afternoon, hotline.